What is Web 3.0? There are many discussions today about the future of the internet, and one of the main terms you'll hear flying around is Web 3.0. Now, I looked around and it turns out that most people don't know what the term really means. All they know is that it's somehow connected to blockchains and that it could lead to lots of money in the future.
With the emergence of NFTs and the metaverse, tech enthusiasts are now gearing up for what could be the next phase of the internet. So what is Web 3? Can you explain it simply?
Welcome to today's video, where we will be looking at the future of the internet and what role blockchains like Ethereum and Cardano will play in that future. Stick around till the end so you'll find out how everyday lives will be affected by Web 3.0. Before we continue, I have to make a disclaimer. This is an educational video and is not intended as financial advice. Now back to the video. Before we can start understanding what Web 3.0 will be like, we must first take a brief look at the earliest versions of the internet, i.e. Web 1.0 and Web 2.0. Web 1.0 was the earliest version of the internet and it was released in the early 90s. Web 1.0 consisted of web pages that were connected by hyperlinks. Web 1.0 was called the read-only web because it wasn't interactive. People could read a page online, but they couldn't comment, like, or share the post with their friends. The earliest web pages featured mostly text and the data was stored on large computers in central locations. Advertising was not allowed on Web 1.0. But even if it were, it would have been difficult because people could only take information from the web. They couldn't give information to the web, so they couldn't run targeted ads to people. The first web pages used static URLs so that their content could only be changed when the developer changed the page's HTML code. It was Web 1.0 that ushered in the era of web browsers like Opera, Internet Explorer, Netscape, Navigator, etc. Ironically, many companies of the second age of the internet were born in the era of Web 1.0. Like Amazon, Google, Yahoo, and eBay, they were born in the years after Web 1.0. The early 2000s saw the birth of Web 2.0. For users, Web 1.0 was all about taking information. Web 2.0 brought connectivity to the internet. It shifted the internet to a mode of operation where users could give and receive information from the web. With Web 2.0, you could read a post you like and comment on it. That way you'd let the web page know that you enjoyed that sort of information. Users could also connect with other people over the internet. Just think of social media giants like Facebook, right? And Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, etc. The main feature of Web 2.0 was that it made the internet a more connected place. Many services that had to be done in person could now be done over the internet from anywhere in the world. Many people could now buy and sell goods and services over the internet. People could speak to anyone, anywhere, live on the internet. Companies like Facebook, Twitter, Amazon, and many other media companies became the main players of Web 2.0. These companies rely on collecting information from their users and using that information to create goods and services specifically targeted at their customers, thanks to the large amounts of information collected by the websites. Another massive development that followed the launch of Web 2.0 was digital advertising. Now, companies could send ads to people on the internet. Of course, all of these benefits didn't come at once, right? They were developed over time. For example, digital advertising started with a model where people received random ads just like you would see on a TV or a billboard. With time, ads got better as websites and web pages became better at collecting information from people. Computers also got better at sorting the information they collected and using it to predict people's needs and wants. Some of this information is supplied directly to the websites and apps, while the rest is collected indirectly. For a great example, just think of when you join platforms like Google and Apple. You give them your information, which they store and sometimes sell to companies. Or when you visit a website, usually you would get a message telling you that the website will store some of your information or cookies. Cookies are the digital version of a footprint. For instance, you go online and check how to deal with bad breath. You're taken to a page that shows you some home remedies and other over-the-counter medicines. After you see the information you need, you exit the page. Later on, while browsing YouTube, you notice you are getting ads about mouth care products. This is because the site you entered earlier probably stored your activity on the site and have now shared that information to mouth care companies who then target ads at you. Of course, this is not only used by companies. It is also the same process that causes your Facebook feed to be different from another person. This made the internet more interactive for ordinary users like us because the content we see is more tailored to us and not generic like the days of Web 1.0. Web 2.0 gave us more freedom with how we use our online space. However, most of it is still controlled by media companies like Facebook, Google, and Instagram, etc. And even though we have more freedom, these companies still have an ultimate say on how their platform will be used. That's why you can post something on Instagram or Twitter, and it can get taken down. Sadly, one problem that has rocked the internet since the age of Web 2.0 is the issue of privacy. Remember your mouth products example? Right. Well, some people don't like the idea of their personal information being shared with companies for advertising purposes. Many people have complained that web companies have to do more to protect privacy. Thankfully, this is one of the problems that Web 3.0 is meant to solve. Finally, we've gotten to the main topic of today, Web 3.0. The first thing you must understand about Web 3.0 is that some of it is theoretical, while others already exist. Two major ideas that lie at the core of Web 3.0 are decentralization and artificial technology. Web 3.0 is also called the semantic web. Semantic web means that the web and its content are more easily understandable by machines. This aspect of Web 3.0 is already being developed. Web 3.0 will rely more on artificial intelligence, mainly because almost every aspect of our lives will be connected to the internet. And so we will need greater processing speed than ever. However, machines would need to understand data conceptually and contextually for these to occur. This means that they need to have a certain understanding of human language so they can understand the context you use when you say something. Just think of the algorithm that sorts out your Instagram feed and makes it different from everyone else's feed. How does it know what you like? That's what they call machine learning. Machine learning is a simple process in which AIs use previous data to seek patterns and learn, just like humans do. This is how an AI can customize your IG feed, by observing your viewing patterns on the platform and learning the kind of things you like based on those patterns. Web 3.0 will also be more decentralized than Web 2.0. Decentralization is already happening today. Many blockchain networks are being developed, and many of them would replace regular digital services in our lives. Decentralization will give the users of a platform more power over how it functions, and it will do this through the use of DAOs. DAO simply means decentralized autonomous organization. In a DAO, the running of an organization is controlled by the users of that network. They control the organization by voting. The more tokens one has, the more voting rights one has. Many believe that this will be the future of many companies and institutions. Already there are blockchain versions of finance institutions. There are decentralized exchanges such as Coinbase and Uniswap. These are also decentralized lending platforms like AAVE, Maker Compound, etc. Web 3.0 will also be more private. Developers of the new web have been looking for ways to protect one's identity on the internet, and they have come up with a few innovations. According to many experts, your identity on Web 3.0 will not be tied to your real identity. This means that you can buy music or groceries from a store using your crypto wallet, which can have a different identity. You'll also have more control of the content you post online in the next generation of the web. You'll be free to post whatever you like, and it can't be removed. That's because in a decentralized system, there are no central figures who make the rules. Instead, the network's users will have to decide what's acceptable and what's not. We've reached the end of this video, and we've put a lot of work into making this video. And we'll sleep a lot better tonight knowing that you smashed that like button on this video. Also, subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on great videos like this.